What's up, everybody? We are back. All right. So the other day, me and this girl was getting into the mood, and she told me, I need to, you know, uh, trim the yard,
Oh, damn.
and I don't, do you have any recommendations?
You know what? Funny you say that because I got in a similar situation. I had to do some digging. I found some shit, bro. I gotta put you on.
Please do.
It's called Manscaped, and Manscaped gave us a code that I want you to use. You can get 20% off, bro.
Get
And
out of
y'all
here.
too. Wrap in order 20. You use that. You go to manscaped.com. Get 20% off your order.
Wow, she is going to be so happy.
And she won't have no hair on her teeth.
And your balls will thank you. I said, let me know when you're ready.
Oh, I said, cool. My bad.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to Late Breakfast. I'm Taurian B.
I'm first class Regg.
What's up, Reg? How's your week?
Pretty good, man. I just got back from Detroit, seeing the fam.
What up, though?
This guy, he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to say, you see what BMF is doing? Y'all see what BMF
No,
is
I got it from Jalen Rose.
Okay, that's fair. Shout out to Jalen Rose. But no, it was a good
He
week.
still ain't say it back to me. It's crazy.
It was a good It was a good week. It was a good week. Yeah, I saw my mom, my grandmother, my brothers. Spent some time with some of the homies out there. It was nice.
Okay, cool, man. Cool. Out in Motown. I just worked this weekend, so I didn't really get to do that much.
I still didn't get a chance to go to the museum out there. The Motown Museum has been closed.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, it's been closed. It temporarily closed, and I called them, and they said they don't open till June. So,
Damn, man, you gotta like get David Ruffin on. You don't know who I am,
right?
You gotta start wilding.
Man,
Okay. Well, obviously Joe Rogan has been in a news cycle
oh boy,
like crazy. So, if you do know who Joe Rogan is, Joe Rogan has had a very strong stance on COVID vaccinations, and he's very against it. When he got COVID, he had his own theories on how to treat it, and he felt that like because he was able to be COVID negative in 4 days from what he was doing, taking horse tranquilizers and all other kind of like weird things, like he was able to like do that. And there's a lot of things that he feels that like he like researches and debunks about COVID because he's very much a conspiracy theorist. So whenever he has like, his guests on the show, he welcomes the challenge. So he doesn't shut them down. He lets them come on and educate him as well, right? But he just thinks what he thinks. And I think that's fine. That's cool,
okay.
right? There was a recent interview that he had, and basically he was kind of like saying, well, not kind of, he said something that was completely wrong, regardless of the context, and the doctor corrected him. So then 75 doctors came out and said that they wanted Joe Rogan taken off Spotify for spreading wrong information. And then historic rock and roll artist Neil Young came out, and as well as Joni Mitchell came out and said that they would like their music removed from Spotify if Joe Rogan's music is not going to be removed from Spotify. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that Joni Mitchell and Neil Young suffer from polio as children. So they are pretty much saying that vaccinations saved their lives. So that's the reason why they're so big on vaccinations, because like they are products of vaccinations working. It's just like the Chris Rock joke. Remember polio? Like, polio was pretty much making people paralyzed at one point in time, right? This was like before our parents.
yeah,
Right? So like that was like a huge thing. So when that happened, Joe Rogan finally came out, apologized in his own way. It was kind of like, all right, I'll say sorry because I like it's causing my business partner Spotify's problems.
because niggas is mad.
Niggas is mad, right? Speaking of niggas. So then the bombshell came because India Ari, Miss Brown Skin herself, came out and blew all this shit up. India Ari came out and basically came with receipts in video form of Joe Rogan saying nigger with the hard ER over 75 times over a 12-year period. The clips looked terrible. Obviously, these clips were in hindsight, but they looked bad. So then this just started an outrage because many people, like Joe Rogan, like even though he has a large audience, his audience is very much male, white. That's his demographic, right? Like obviously other races and women watch his show, but it's mainly just a male macho demographic, like, you know. And Joe Rogan has like 75 jobs. Like this nigga got more jobs than the Wayans brothers. It's crazy, right? So people have seen it and they're outraged that he you know, because the way that he tells stories, you know, he's telling a story about one time he was on shrooms and him and his friends went to go see the movie Planet of the Apes in
a black neighborhood.
In a black neighborhood, and when he got out the car, he felt like he was in Planet of the Apes because there was nothing but black people and he was so scared. That just sounds bad in context, period. There's another clip where he's talking with a friend about the word nigger, and then he asks his friend to say it with him, and then he says it, and then they start snickering like little kids. You know, so, and they were basically saying, like, why does that racial slur hold so much more weight than kike, spick, chink, or something like that, right? And
these are the words they said.
That's these words that he said, Julius. Julius. I know, ladies and gentlemen, no, I wasn't saying that. I was just repeating verbatim what Joe Rogan did. So, in that clip, him and his friend laughed afterwards, and that's what happened, right? So now we're at this point where many people are upset at Joe Rogan for so many different reasons. Like, they're mad at him because they feel like he's spreading misinformation about the vaccine. They're mad at him for, you know, casually using the N-word so many times. Well, I've been saying it all episode. Using the word nigger so many times and not being checked about it. People are mad at his black friends for not checking him about using the N-word. You know, the Rock retracted his praise of Joe Rogan after he found out, like, 75 times, that's a lot. Yeah, I can't get jiggy with that. Some people have come out in his defense. Some of his black comedian friends, Jay Prince, has come out in his defense. But it's getting bad. And I don't know if he's going to lose his deal at Spotify.
I think he brings so much money and he holds so much weight at Spotify that would be their absolute last resort. The first resort was to remove and scrub everything that has some type of racist remarks or anything that can make anybody more angry.
Now they're working on that. The thing that they removed was him sharing misinformation on COVID.
Okay.
So that's what they removed first.
But they didn't remove the episodes with... Okay.
So now that's happening because the NDIR repost came out on Thursday. So now that's what they're working on.
Yeah.
So 75 episodes.
But then I also have a theory that, like, they've been trying to get Joe Rogan... I feel like there's been things that have been piled on Joe Rogan's name for a long time now. Right.
He endorsed Bernie Sanders.
He's over 1,000 episodes in. Over 1,000 episodes, 12 years in the podcast game. Right. And this stuff is just seemingly coming up now, at least in the social media age, where we kind of like zero in with a microscope on everything, or at least we have the time and we give the time to everything now.
Correct.
I think they've been on Joe Rogan for a while and it's just now catching because there's something triggering there for black people. And I think for black people, we kind of dedicate the time to the things that don't serve us. We dedicate a lot of time to getting it out the paint. And I think this is taking traction because it's zeroing in on black people. And I think whoever the higher up is that's trying to get Joe Rogan out the paint, they made sure that we saw this so we can give it this attention.
I agree. Because it's like with politics, like we care about politics, but we're not passionate about politics, right?
Yes.
So like that's like one stance that he took because it's funny that the left and the right both dislike him because like he kind of has like a married view of the government and things, and the fact that like he will talk to anyone. I guarantee you, if he can get Vladimir Putin to come on his show, he would talk to Vladimir Putin.
He'll talk to anybody, and I think so Joe Rogan is like, it's rare because he's long form media in a short attention span time frame, right? That's like what we are now. Like his episodes go for 3 to 4 hours. as does a regular Joe Budden episode would go sometimes 2-3 hours. That's long form content that like a lot of people don't tune into, and it just takes maybe 10 seconds of that long form of content. And it's not to go back to the context thing that we said earlier, because the context, even with the shit that he said in the context, is terrible. But it's just the fact that like it took this long. It's just weird for it to take this long for it to be catching heat like this.
Yeah,
and 12 years really isn't that long ago if you want to keep it a buck. Like
I really think that it's the fact that, like I said again, he doesn't have like that. He doesn't have that many black listeners. Most of the black listeners that he has are fans that are obviously really into comedy or like really into MMA. Like you're not gonna get the guy that listens to Joe Budden podcast on a regular basis. He might go there because Joe talked about Joe Rogan a lot, right? But like you're not gonna get like my dad doesn't give a fuck about Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad don't give a fuck about Joe Budden either. But like my dad's not gonna go out his way to listen to it. Most of Black Twitter probably could give a damn about Joe Rogan. They just look at him as the bald white guy that covers.
That used to host Fear Factor.
That used to host Fear Factor and covers MMA and shit like that, right? So it's just like, and if you think about it, like most people would think that he is a Proud Boy or something like that. They would just think that like that's what he is. And a lot of views that he has are like actually like really cool and progressive, and some of the views that he has isn't. And I think like he's allowed to think what he wants, but like now it's a microscope, so everybody's looking at everything bad that he does.
I think that's what comes with being a host like this. A host like this that hosts all sorts of people in different forms of entertainment and media. He has everyone from Neil deGrasse Tyson to Dave Chappelle to Elon Musk. Yeah. Like he's had some really radical people on his show. I mean Kanye West. Like he has so many different people. That's why I like his show.
White supremacists on his show.
Yeah. So like he's had people. Yeah, exactly. So he's had people, and that doesn't help this argument at all of him not being racist. But if you look at the wider scope of it, of just being willing to talk to all these different types of people, it opens up a conversation of like, all right, well, who's really canceling Joe Rogan?
Right.
You know? But I see what he said, like the 20 instances or in that clip, which is fucking disgusting. It's a terrible clip. But I do like what he's given us over the years in media, but it's not enough for me to, want to jump in and defend him.
Right.
In a sense. It kind of puts me on the ropes where, like, if Joe Rogan's whole show was to get canceled and, like, go away, I have the forms of content in there that I can appreciate, but I just can't align with him with like the shit that he did. And then what did you think of his response video?
After NDRE or after Neil Young and Joni Mitchell?
After everything. His latest one.
So his latest one. I definitely think it's hilarious that like he went from like being like comfortable outside, just walking like on his phone, to them being like, all right, let me go and be somewhere where there's a library behind me, so niggas can think I'm reading books, educating myself. But I could definitely tell like he's taking it more seriously. And so this is my thing. Hopefully like he can like learn from this, and like this can be like his wake up call, because I think that one of the things in comedy, like all right, so me and Regg are like big like Patrice O'Neal fans, and in that sense, right? If you're a fan of Patrice O'Neal, I'm pretty sure like Patrice O'Neal's white friends said nigga around him every once in a blue, and like probably to get a joke off or to say something. So to Joe Rogan, I'm pretty sure he thought as long as he wasn't calling somebody the nigger, like a nigger, the N-word.
That's how he rationalized it.
That's how he rationalized. He thought he was okay, but he knew the word was wrong. So it's troublesome because, like I said, we all know that he has friends that are black, and that talk about racism all the time. Dave Chappelle literally has stand-ups talking about racism. So with that being said, it's he knows better. But I will say this: if Joe Rogan show got canceled tomorrow, I wouldn't be like upset.
I wouldn't be mad.
I wouldn't be mad or anything like that. But
with over 1,000 episodes, he's done his fair share of what he had to do in long form media.
Exactly. But what I will say is that I don't think that he's going to get his show's going to get canceled. But what I am glad is that he's being held accountable, and now going forward, he'll probably do better. And like that's all like we can ask. Like people mess up. Like I'll be honest with you, right? Like I guarantee you, like there are some people who are probably like upset with Joe Rogan, like people that like we follow on the timeline. But I guarantee you, like they've used that slur against gay people that starts with the letter F, right? So I'm pretty sure like they would probably be like, like Mr. Krabs meme, if someone were to find clips of them using the F word that's towards gay people, right? So with that being said, is like everybody kind of like everybody needs to be educated on certain things. Certain things like just shouldn't be said. Obviously, saying the N word is just like a big no for white people. So I think all white people should know that. Like that's just like something that like just white people 1-on-1. You should just know that, right?
Yeah.
But I also think that sometimes
y'all got everything else.
Yeah.
We tell y'all not to say one word.
Yeah, just one word. We just say don't say one word,
and just then like don't say this word.
Right, and then they try to justify by saying, well, you said like it don't. We just ask you not to say one word, just one.
Yeah.
Right. So, and like now, like the gay community is pretty much making the F word, like I won't even say it, like making the F word that word for them. Like, don't say that word, right? And I'm okay with that. Like, I don't need that word that bad to say it, or to even like use it to get a joke across or anything like that. Like, I get it, I understand it, and I think Joe Rogan just needs to like look at it that way and just keep it moving.
Yeah. Now, do you think? And I feel like, because we are wrapping up here, but do you think somebody like Dave Chappelle is gonna come forward? I can see Dave Chappelle in like his next special, whenever that is. Maybe this will blow over by then, but talking about this or being in defense of Joe Rogan, do you see that?
I hope that he doesn't defend Joe Rogan. I hope that he just like keeps it a stack and just. This is gonna sound funny, like I just pictured Dave Chappelle being like, I ain't never listened to his show.
Yeah.
But he said, but what I found out, like, like he just checked him and that's that. Like, I'm praying to God that's the stance that he takes. And then, like, just moving forward, he's like, yo, I just told my boy, nah, you can't do that, man. I didn't know you was wilding like that.
Yeah.
Like, I just, like, just because I call you my nigga don't mean you can, I hope that's the stance that he takes. And I hope that he doesn't come out saying Joe Rogan can say whatever he wants. He's my friend. Like, obviously, I do think that he will say that Joe Rogan's not a racist.
Yeah.
Because
that's his friend.
Yeah, because, like, I think that's also, like, a thing that, like we have to like understand, because I definitely you wanna know one slur that I really hate that a lot of my friends use, and it's because like I'm so like, because James is our very good friend, and then my like Peter K is like our really good friend. I don't like when people call the Chinese store the chinos.
I hate that. I actually there was a girl I was talking to and I corrected her on that, and she just didn't understand. I was like, no.
Yeah, right. No. So my thing is just that like I genuinely like understand it like from the standpoint where it's like it's just certain things that you don't say, and like I know like our friends probably don't even like talk about it that much, but I know it bothers them. And like I remember one time one of our friends who are Asian, like he like checked somebody that was like just randomly like, damn, I think I want some chinos, and like he like checked them online, and like he tried to like gaslight them, but like everybody was like, yeah, chill, like you know what I'm saying, like don't call it the chinos or whatever like that. So I just really think like that's something that like also like needs to like be like looked into and like checked. Like it's just certain slurs that we use and like we just think it's something like that's like really simple, but like it's unnecessary and you don't have to say it, especially like if there's somebody that you care about.
Yeah.
And like I very, very much so love James and Peter, so I don't want my friends to feel offended, and I'm pretty sure that they're uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, and like and you wanna know what? James and Pete have never even asked me not to, but it's just like I would just imagine. If I was in their shoes, like I would cringe when I hear it. So there's no need to say it.
And we can actually wrap with that.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Taurian B.
I'm First Class Regg.
And we'll catch you guys next time.